Men, if you are sick of women playing games and you want to vocalize this to a woman, saying basically, I'm not going to stick around if this is the type of person you are, this is what I would say. I would tell them, instead of just ghosting and leaving, I would say, listen, I'm dating intentionally. I don't feel as if you're dedicating the time or energy that I need in a relationship to move forward. And so if you'd like to continue seeing one another, please let me know. But we need to have a discussion around the expectations of a relationship. And if you don't want to see each other and you have other things going on, I completely respect that. But I'm going to need to move forward because I'm here looking for a wife, and just see what they say.
Now, the gaslighting here in this video is just honestly unreal. And, it's almost as if this video was created by a woman. And can you imagine if I just took this video, me just shoving my junk right in front of the camera, the way she's shoving her cleavage right in front of the camera, trying to teach men how to, act in chivalry? When in reality, I mean, like, I've always been told as a man, you're never supposed to get dating advice from another woman because they don't really know what they want, as well as men and women have different values. So you really can't really, and you ever really try to talk to your significant other? I feel like every relationship is individually different, so whatever flaws or drama or problems you have are going to be separately individualized from the next. So if you're going to just straight up tell a man how to fix his relationship by telling this woman this, maybe that's not what he wants to hear. Maybe she's already heard that multiple times. Maybe this is just too far gone. Maybe it is just time to leave. So, and also at the end of the day, if you're with somebody, which in this scenario that she has presented to us right here, it seems almost as if the woman knows that the man is looking for a long time thing, but she feels like the man just hasn't stamped that yet. So she's still fooling around, sleeping around, and acting almost as if she is single, posting skimpy Instagram pictures and going out wearing whatever she wants. At the end of the day, I think she should know this, but instead it's still the man's fault. It's still the man's fault. You didn't signify it hard enough. I mean, it's almost as if we were dating. That's almost like obviously what I would want, but it's almost as if it's still our fault. So, I don't know, guys. I'm not saying that every woman is like this, but women who make videos like this, I think they definitely have a lot of contradiction in their words here.
I'm looking for a mid man who's in need of a glow up. I'm doing a free glow up. Only thing is you have to date me and do everything I need and ask for. If you're a little ugly, it's okay. I will fix you.
And the scary part is that a woman will actually make a genuine video like this, she's being genuinely authentic. This could be somewhat satire here, trying to be funny for the camera, trying to play for the views, but women will genuinely have this reaction here and feel like they're bringing something to the table, as if the man is supposed to bring everything, then some, pay for it all, provide it all, give you everything, and then when you leave, or if you die, you get everything in return, and then some. And still, at the end of the day, it's your fault, and you need to still bring more. And also, do what I say, no respect, and just completely get your manhood out of the picture. Now, I always grew up in the traditional mindset where a man has their role, a woman has their role, and both sexes, as though they're not equal, they both play their part, and there's needed benefits for both parties playing said role. I'm not saying that women have to stay in the kitchen or men have to do the hardcore labor, especially these days. I mean, I think most things are 50-50, and that's more so how it has to be if you really want to, get a good, thing rolling, get the ball rolling. I mean, guys, I've been single for a while, and honestly, I don't even know if getting a girlfriend is even worth the cost when most women out there are like this, because if I ever were to get a girlfriend, I'm sorry to tell you ladies, but it's going to be because I'm trying to split the bills again. That's the most convenient thing to have a partner, in my opinion, is being able to split the bills. But in a lot of regards, the man still has to do everything, just have another mouth to feed, and then deal with this when he gets home from work. So, do you personally feel like this is your future, or is this something you're also trying to kind of stray away from, and you rather just buy unlimited Amazon, one-day shipping pocket pussies to prevent this type of drama in your life?
I think there's a lot of talk in the red pill sphere that's very popular online. That's if you're a man and you're in a relationship with a woman, they should listen to you because you're the man. And it's basically as simple as that.
Well, first of all, right when the biblical corpus opens, one of the first pronouncements is that both men and women are made in the image of God, right? There's an absolute insistence in that. And then, the feminist critics will say, well, yeah, but Eve is cast in a bad light. It's like, yeah, so is Adam.
Yeah.
Eve takes the first bite, but Adam submits to her temptation in a second, and then he blames her for his faults, which men do to women all the time, and vice versa. I mean, we're pretty good at that both ways. So no, there's no submitting. Plus, it's impossible anyways. You try to get a woman to submit, like, good luck. It's just not possible.
Not for very long.
They're slippery.
I don't want to completely harp on women in this video because men definitely have it wrong these days too. And most men these days have this whole masculine mindset. They want to be the alpha male. They want to be the top G or whatever the fuck you want to put these words in there. But at the end of the day, I feel like being a traditional man, loving your family, loving thy neighbor, and being able to just provide for just provide for your dependents and for your community is all really your loved ones and the people around you are really asking for. Now, at the end of the day, you should still focus on yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still build yourself up while providing for the people around you without completely cutting them off, acting as if they don't exist, and just almost treating them shallow. Because a lot of these alpha male influencers, it's almost as if they act as if they hate women, as if they hate anybody who doesn't feel like men are on top of the world. And although I do understand that men did build the majority of things, that men do have to go to war and they're the ones that die for the majority of their freedom, that men do actually have to do the majority of sacrifice and have to provide the most, like I stated in the beginning of the video, it still is, like I also stated last reaction here in this last little commentary piece, is that there are certain roles for each party, and we shouldn't, down the other party for having different roles. But we should also kind of, hype them up for actually feeling as if they have some sort of needed role here in society, because these days many people, almost every individual, lacks that purpose. They lack a sense of purpose, they lack a sense of fulfillment, and they go to their 9 to 5 still not being able to pay their bills, knowing they're going to be getting replaced by robots or cheap slave labor from across seas. And it's a sad reality right now. So if you do have a partner that you guys have similar values in, and if you personally have been able to provide for yourself, and you're kind of humble, and you're in solitude within that, then God bless. And a lot of people don't really feel that way right now. So you're honestly one of the lucky ones.
I can't talk to regular dudes no more, bro. I can't do it. Like, it gets me extremely angry. I'm like, bro, we're not even on the same wavelength. Like, because the thing is that when you don't understand female nature, your whole reality is kind of fucked up, because guys will.
That guy's a liability.
He is a liability. He'll prioritize his girl, how she feels, over making money or doing a business or yo, let's go do this. Oh, let me see what my girl thinks. Like, bro, if I hear that, I'm like, I'm not fucking with this guy. Are you serious? A woman dictates how the fuck you're going to move in life? But this is how a lot of guys move. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, no wonder this stuff is spreading like wildfire, because guys know deep down, like, why is my girl calling the shots? What the fuck is going on here?
Now, I'm currently in my mid-20s, but I was in my early 20s only a couple of years back during the pandemic, and after all that, I was watching a lot of these videos where these male podcasters, these alpha male podcasters, sit down with women who preferably chose the, online adult creation route, and they chose kind of a more sinful life, instead of the godly route, the traditional level. And then they sit them down and they question them and they kind of like berate them, and they almost harass them to a point where they're trying to make them look stupid on camera. And honestly, I'm not saying that every girl who chooses this industry is a lackluster, low IQ individual, but a lot of these girls, they're not that bright, and they don't really have much to say in this regard. So it's very easy for someone with an average IQ like some of these guys, or even some of these guys who just have talking points that they hit at the same time every single episode, like what's your body count, or things, like what if your parents or your kid sees this stuff, like stuff is gonna be uncomfortable. Let's be honest, guys, if these girls went to this industry, I think they know what they're gonna be signing up for. Some of them are just idiotic enough to just sign up for the quick money, not realizing the majority of people in this industry only make a couple $100s a month, while a small percentage actually make the majority of the buku bucks. Just like YouTube, just like TikTok, just like every other social media thing, not everybody on here is rich. Most people do it for fun or do it for the love of the game. But for that type of thing, most girls get into that for the money, for the fame, and for the the easy lifestyle, which most of them don't ever get. So most of the failures, or even some of the ones that are not quite there yet, they go on these podcasts to get berated, to get some sort of a leg up in the game, to get some promotion through the incels that watch these podcasts. And even though they hate on these women, they still end up paying for their OF accounts, their all the fanfics, which is honestly just a watered down version of OnlyFans. It's a crazy thing these days. So have you personally ever subscribed to these sites? Are you personally against this, or do you just stick back to the old school routes where you do magazines or online free sites? Because even though some states are starting to crack down on that, it's definitely still out there.
I don't like how a lot of women has they prostituting and calling it dating, all because they're a little more selective with their choice of who they prostitute for. But if you only GTDing based off of how much you financially benefit from the guy you're giving a hold up to, you're prostituting, you're selling this, sweetheart. And that's why most of the women who always talking about how much a man gotta make and how much money he gotta spend on her and what she not paying for and how she not putting in financially, that's why most of y'all ain't never got no man. Because no man want nobody selling it. The fuck, you give it up to almost anybody that got the money for it. So you're a rental property. You're up for leasing. Nobody cares for rentals and shit like that. When a guy goes to rent a car, when somebody rents a car, they treat that car like shit. It's for the moment. I'm giving this shit back and let somebody else deal with the maintenance and stuff. Don't no man really want y'all out here tricking. Y'all bitches out here selling it and calling it dating. And I don't like that, you know? But maybe it's me. You know, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But not all, but a bunch of you women always, all y'all talk about is what a man got to do for you financially in order for you to mess with him or in order for you to get that hold up. That's prostitution, sweetheart. But it's dating. My bad.
Pleasure being so easily accessible these days, so many men are just willing to pay for pleasure, pay for easy access, pay for accessibility, instead of having to deal with anything else. Now, some men say, I'm paying you to leave. But at the end of the day, most people are paying because they have no other option, no other choice, and they see no other way out to get any sort of nut off, other than staring at their phone. And, you know, some men are just too good for that, I guess. So it really is a crazy world right now, especially with the fact is it's kind of ruined the whole idea of the traditional mindset that's kind of been out the window. Touched on it multiple times, maybe I've touched on it too many times here. I'll probably change topics here soon enough, but it kind of is an insane, really, reality right now, how something that's been around for so long, the traditional family, is kind of so far lost. Even the people that do live the traditional family, the gender roles have been switched so much that gender roles almost don't even exist in modern times, where society is beginning to collapse. And you know how Rome collapsed? Do you think history's repeating itself? I don't know. Well, virgins, that's going to wrap up this video. If you personally have any thoughts, opinions regarding anything regarding sex, relationships, or loneliness, feel free to leave those thoughts, opinions down below in the comments, as well as a huge shout out to the handful of you guys checking out those links down below in the description. Those are always some best ways to support me and the content around here. I definitely want to give a huge shout out to the handful of you guys that show up every day, and I plan to be as consistent as I can with the best quality content possible. So I'm going to appreciate you. I hope you enjoy this content from me, this one, so see ya. Bye.